That thing gone.
British Broadcasting. Britain's first news network.
This dead human downloaded lines of code from the Black Cab network mere moments before dying. It appears the network has been tampered with, and poorly. This code is amateurish, crammed in there like a pack of crayons in a dim child's nose. There's even a comment attached to the code.
What does it say?
No words, just bit strings, gibberish, and not enough of it to compile any useful data.
You're saying a hacker is controlling every black cab in the city and using them to kill civilians?
Exactly, but I need more data to be sure.
We need to collect more data from the cabs still in operation. If we can gather more bit strings, we may be able to find out who and where this hacker is.
GBB, first on the scene. First to bring you the news.
For helping us with that. Another option, extend the White Cliffs of Dover. They've been resting on their laurels for too long. Very inefficient, it turns out, as a means of stopping immigration. We need to extend them by about another 11,000 miles, a full wrap around Great Britain, and they could do with being about 1.5 kilometres higher as well, with a special greasy coating to stop people standing over the top or however they get in. Here's a quick joke, please, Alex. This is the one about the water. Where so many of our guests to Britain go for a longer than desirable game of involuntary hide and seek. I will conclude by saying, out of all the things wrong with Britain today, I think immigration is right up there, Alice. When you think of all the health professionals who've stolen from overseas over the years here in Britain, it's quite possible that all these people are just coming here to try to get an appointment with their local doctor.
Yes, and he's certainly someone who came from the expanded arm of the empire when Britain was still reaching out rather than...
How much worse can they do if they're not there? I mean, by definition, the fact that there's a spy scandal means that they were terrible spies. The point of spies is that there's never a spy scandal.
Yeah, but let's give credit to all the spies that haven't been in scandals and therefore might as well not exist.
But there were also those German spies in that absurd crackdown on the illegals in Hackney, and I think that's a sad thing. I think I used to think of Germans as quite scary, but that was because I'd been watching World War II movies where the Germans all have English accents. They speak in that very, precise way. It's very, we have ways of making you talk. And now Germans all have that American accent, where it's all like, oh, welcome to the party. We're having a really nice time. Much friendlier Germans. Let them stay.
Well, that's all today, folks. Just remember, honestly, I hope. Until next time, bye-bye.
What have you found, Bagley?
The same crude code with bit strings in a comment. I'll try converting them.
When you want the news.
The drones were able...
All we ask, let us...
What was that?
So these bit strings came from an audio file and not, as I suspected, from someone kicking their keyboard down a spiral staircase. Hack another cab and I can decode the rest.
These black cabs can run over another civilian at any time. Better get on with it.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Me, Tash. It's hard to believe that there could be shortages of food and medicine in an advanced country like ours, and yet here we are. Those old government policies of adequate food turn out to be just enough. Today we're short of...
I now have enough bit strings to complete the audio file. Let's see.
Black market means that criminal gangs...
With all due respect, these are Broker Tech employees, your employees being run over by your product. Don't you want what's best for your employees?
Sky Larson knows full well what is best for her employees, Lieutenant, and that is why the black cabs will remain operational.
But surely taking the cabs offline wouldn't affect your bottom line?
All we ask is for Albion's cooperation as we resolve the situation internally. Let us worry about our bottom line.
Wait. Broker Tech employees are getting run over by their own project.
I've gone over all the victims of black cabicide and they all have two things in common. Very poor reflexes and their employer, Broker Tech.
So Sky Larson neural mapped the cab AI?
That's right, a former cabbie. Broker Tech partnered with the city to automate their cabs and now the cabs are getting their revenge.
Looks like it's up to us to fix the problem. What's our next step?
We still need to find this AI's location. Hack into another cab and I'll see if it has a readable user history. I realise this is a difficult distinction for a vicious mammal like you to grasp, but there is such a thing as being too violent.
That is when people started dying. And then the medicines. There's loads of medicines that you just can't stockpile. There was a moment before it took place when actually there was some effort to stockpile.
Suspect is unsighted.
There was some
unsighted sweeping area.
For a lot of it, there was nothing that could be done. We had a major problem with drugs for schizophrenia. So we saw such an uptick in the kind of attacks that you saw in the street and people suffering on their own because they didn't have the mental health drugs. Because
Terminating
those drugs simply couldn't be stockpiled. We eventually found the same thing with food that weren't produced in the UK. And the trouble with the UK was we don't produce our own food. We never had. 100 years we produced under half of our own food. As soon as those we started having significant material problems.
All units, I repeat, all units. We have reports of a hostile in
Over.
Over.
Inbound to hostile.
They can go through any kind of hardship. I mean, that wasn't really the case. People during the war were far more frightened than some of this historical stuff makes out. Now, what did we do? People don't...
Any sign of the target?
They were desperate for the things that they had before, and they were scared. So they went to the black market. The same thing that always happened. And where did the growth of Clan Kelly come from? It came from people wanting the things that they could previously get legitimately and could now only get through
Control,
the black market,
we're returning to
funneling
HQ,
funds
over.
towards criminality. From there, we got to the situation we have now of this basic war between criminals and security that seems to dominate what's going on out there on the streets.
Nothing shakes people's faith in capitalism quite as much as when capitalism fails to deliver. Here's underground writer and analyst the politics of policy.
I think what we've come to now is a realisation that capitalism has essentially failed. I mean, the one key promise of capitalism that it makes to its citizens is that there will be certainty, that we will have plenty, that that's the whole logic for running society in this way, that people will have enough. And now, with these kind of huge shortages of everything, you're seeing that system collapse. It hasn't delivered on its primary promise. And I think we've really reached a situation where we have to do away with capitalism entirely. We're seeing a situation where there's shortages for the many, but for a few individuals, there's an elite who are not struggling and short of anything. So this is kind of fundamental inequality of a capitalist system, which is no longer producing the goods for most of us. Shortages are being used as well. I'm not saying that there isn't a real shortage. There possibly is real shortages, but shortages are being used as an excuse for those in power, those elites, to keep what they want and not give to the rest of us what we need. So the excuse that there's simply not enough to go around is a justification for maintaining a kind of power of the 1% and leaving the rest of us short.
So if you're starving hungry tonight, if your parents can't get their medicine and your brothers and sisters have to steal to eat, remember, it's all for the good of Albion. or Mason, or someone. Just not.
Download complete. It appears the code alterations have been coming from a parking garage in Westminster.
To be honest, I don't know how I feel about helping those broker tech people. But I guess they don't deserve to die just because Sky Larson is insane.
The creator-creation relationship can be a dark and complex thing. See Frankenstein, bride of Frankenstein, son of Frankenstein.
Yes, thank you, Bagley. Guess our job does involve shutting down killer AIs. London's fucked enough as it is, without this extra shit.
Christ, mate. Are you always such an idiot?
Now we're talking.
Were you an early adopter?
I was one of the first that was in this market. There seemed to be a new way of financial transactions, a new way of money. It's something that we could completely reinvent and change some of the legacy financial systems around the world and really give power back to the people.
Yeah, it was a real shift in the way that the world worked.
You have arrived at the Black Cat parking garage and repair facility. We're here to find that AI and get it to stop plotting GPS routes through broker tech employees.
Something fishy's going.
What was that? What was that?
There's no malingering in this area. Let's lock it down.
Surrender yourself. Failure to comply.
Find out who hacked this drone.
They're around here somewhere.
Initiate search protocol.
Initiate search of the area.
Nothing out of the ordinary here. Check your doors and corners. Eyes peeled.
Live along a suite. Location sent. Need 10:30.
Drop the gun!
Gotcha!
Engaging hostile target.
I need reinforcements to my location.
at rising. You can't do this to me. I've been a cabbie all my life. I've got the knowledge. Please, don't make redundant. Kill them, I'll do it. Bloody automation. Unauthorized access. Route vehicles on local network. Initiate signal interference.
What's going on here?
The AI is rerouting computer power to jam the deletion process. Insert timed jam-related wordplay here.
Not much choice. Can't turn down. Where? I sign? What kind of house? Am I can't see. To drive again? Let's do it. Signal interference failed. Reboot. Help me.
I've isolated the source of the signal jam. You know what to do.
Please shut. Network operational. Change my mind. Run diagnostics. She did this. It was her. Override code. I will find. That stuck the banana up the tailpipe. Every black cab in London just came to a stop. Now scarf her or they'll kill you for sure.
Sending location on the 1033. Advise conditions.
Sierra 4-2, Sierra 4-2, this is Control. An alarm has been activated near you. Survey the area. Over.
Jesus.
Oh, and immediately started again. They must have reverted to an older backup system. Initial reports indicate that they've lost their killer instinct. Do you think the AI was trying to kill Sky Larson? Was that its ultimate goal?
Maybe, but it was hurting a lot of innocent people, which isn't okay.
Things are looking good.